Hey team, welcome back into the Warriorholic. Great day for the Warriors today with a couple of extensions and a new signing. Thought I'd better jump on and share my 2 cents worth. So, who are you most excited about? Jackson Ford extended to 2025, Rocco extended to 2026, and Kurt Capewell 2024 for 3 years. All 3 very solid signings for me. We all know that I've been talking up Rocco for a couple of years now. So I'm ecstatic that he's staying on with the club. I think he's got a lot of micro skills, a lot of class about him that are going to help him develop into one of the top centres in the game in the coming years. So I'm glad that's going to be with us. I love his defence. I love his kick chase, but it's his ability to position himself on attack and put players inside and outside him a way that excites me the most. He might not be the biggest line breaker, but just that team player and his ability to create. Really excited to see how he continues to develop. Jackson Ford, I've been a fan since day one. I didn't know who he was until he came, but from that game against the Knights in round 1, he really started to catch my attention. You know, still a few things for him to work on there with his errors and the penalties, but for me that comes through enthusiasm and energy and wanting to contribute, turn the momentum. Not negatives for me, they're just a sign that he can just learn to harness that. 80-minute player, huge motor, gets through the most tackles in a game often. He'll continue to grow. Probably a sign that his heart's still in Australia, so he hasn't confirmed for long term. But hey, I hope we continue to develop and become a successful franchise that he doesn't want to leave. After a few weeks of up and down, he's definitely coming. He might not come. It's finally locked and loaded. Kurt Capewell, 2024, locked in for 3 years. Very solid signing for me. Experienced 139 games of first grade. Origin player, played in grand finals, played in winning grand finals. So much of the qualities that you want to have in a leader out on your field. By all accounts, he's one of the players that people do turn to on the field when things aren't going well. He's one of the ones who shows the leadership and how to turn it around. He leads his edge as far as defense coordination goes, which is really something we need to work on. A few questions about his age, I guess. 30 years old. He'll be 33, but I think, the modern day rugby league player is quite capable of playing well into their 30s, so no worries from me there. I think the upside from his experience far outweighs any risk from that perspective. Just a couple of stats about him for those who don't know too much about how he goes about his business. He's 1.89 m tall, which is Jackson, for example, was 1.87 m. Kurt's 100 kgs versus Jackson Ford's 101, so slightly taller and a little bit leaner. Made his debut for the Sharks, which some people may not realise, but we all know that he had a successful campaign there, winning a comp with the Panthers before going to the Broncos. Like I mentioned, 139 games so far. To compare Jackson and Kurt's 2024 season, so they both played 24 games, both scored 6 tries, both had 9 line breaks. But Capewell with 5 line break assists, none there for Jackson. Capewell with 89.3% tackle efficiency versus Jackson with 90.6%, very similar. Only the 83 running metres for Capewell versus 100 for Jackson. But I think we really saw Jackson step up and expand his numbers in the second half of the season, where he started taking a lot of the dirty hits. Both guys capable of playing 80 minutes, so that brings up the question, who starts and who goes to the bench out of those two and Marata. No personal insights into what they're thinking, but my guess is maybe Marata goes to an impact position off the bench there due to his versatility. I think you could look at playing both these two guys 80 minutes and using that interchange up through the middle there, and I think Marata could develop into a high impact prop, but someone who's capable of covering an edge there or a centre at a push. So I think his versatility maybe gives him the bench role. Who knows? Maybe he starts and Jackson takes that role. But I'm really excited to see how that combination plays out. All in all, a very solid signing. All it does is strengthen us by giving that experience, giving us that extra year buffer that we're likely to see Tohu retire at the end of 25. So with Capewell being here to the end of 26, he'll be a strong leader to have around in that pack. Great person to mentor these young fellas coming through. So exciting times, team. A lot of positives to ponder as we head into Christmas. Like I said in my previous video, most of the time We've got bugger all to say, and we're making things up by this time of year, but we continue to add layers. All the boys looking fit and fired up, happy, and everything that we've seen from the preseason so far. What do you guys reckon? Which one of these three guys are you most excited about? Any questions you've got about, risks around the three signings? Not too many for me, but curious to hear your thoughts. Onwards and upwards, let's go the Wars in 2024.